Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bunmi Moore here for a very special interview on the WOW platform. Today is the very first episode of WOW, and you got to know what that acronym stands for. Women of Wealth. I love that. That was just a download that came to me. I was like, you know what? We got to call this thing WOW, Women of Wealth. And today, I am so elated that I have a very, very special guest with me who's going to help you and me to get closer to our wealthy place. He's going to inspire you, educate, motivate. I'm telling you, you want to stay tuned into this whole interview here today. Now, we will be taking questions. So if you use the chat box or the comment box to ask a question, we'll make sure that we get those answered for you today, as well as anything that you want to share. You know, if you got something of value, we'll put it up there and display your name and your comment here. Now, Amed, I actually was supposed to be in the studio today, but because of the social distancing that we're practicing, studio closed down. So I said, okay, life gives you lemons. You make what?
Lemonade.
Absolutely. That's just how we roll over here. So I said the show must go on. So now we're bringing you Women of Wealth from the Boom Boom Room. This is the Boom Boom Room where we are building, banking, and doing big business. So I want to welcome you all to the Boom Boom Room today. Now, the show is called Women of Wealth, but as you see, it's not just for women, but I do want to inspire women every week towards a greater level of abundance and wealth and financial literacy. And so, ladies, you know, we gotta deal with our whole chick power here to rise us up. But if you have men in your life, or men, if you're watching, you are absolutely welcome as well. And so I'm going to be bringing on gentlemen who do have a lot of knowledge that they can impart to us to help us get to a bigger and better financial place. And so today I have internationally known author and speaker and entrepreneur, Mr. Amed Hazel. So if there was thousands of people, they would give you a round of applause. Everybody, yay from home, yay! We have Amed here with us. And so I do have the privilege of calling him and his family friends. And this certainly is a privilege. And let me tell you guys, this man is the bomb. When you tune in today, you will be inspired. You're going to learn some things that you didn't know about money and how money works. You're going to learn about some maybe investment vehicles and things that you never were privy to. We're going to get down and dirty in with the money and even dispel some myths, because there are a lot of things that we don't know about money and how money works and opportunities. And we think that's for them over there. And we wonder, how did they get that? How did they get that lifestyle? All of these things are open for us if we know better. So today we're going to start knowing. Okay, awesome. And so to introduce you all to Amed, I want to start by reading something from his website, which I want you all to write down so you can go there as well. And thanks for joining us. Hey, Amed. Al Peter said, hey, Amed.
Yeah.
Good morning. Onika is giving a hand clap as well. So write down AmedHazel.com, AMED Hazel.com. And I want you to listen to this. It says, every creature on earth will run from fire, but it takes an individual that is totally committed to a cause to overcome human nature and place the lives of others above his own. As a former firefighter, Amed Hazel has done this for years. Total commitment, focus, and an enduring spirit have been just a few of the qualities that Amed has harnessed into becoming a successful speaker, business coach, author, and investor. He's taken the skills he has acquired and translated them into a phenomenal business. Absolutely. When I read that quote,
I just got the chills.
When I read it, I got the chills. I was just said that speaks volumes for really who you are, and that's so true. I mean, it's just human nature for most people to run away from fire, but you were that kind of person who, you had something special, different in your heart to make you say, "I'm going to save this life, putting my own life on the line." And so that just speaks volumes for who you are. And then you were able to translate those qualities into a very successful business. So let's talk about that. So people are saying, okay, Bunmi, what is his business? So tell us, who is Amed and how do you help people?
Wow. So thank you so much, Bunmi. The Hazel family, we love you so much. And, it's been a pleasure just being connected to you and your family as well. I think that I had a different life growing up. I was always the kid that was picked on, bullied because of my complexion. And, I was really, really light when I was younger. I've been able to get a little tan, in my older years. But mostly, it shaped who I am as a person, where I really want to help people, and I want people to be able to reach their highest levels of what they're able to achieve. But down to earth, I'm just a family guy that I, joke with my wife and kids pretty much all day long. I think I get on their nerves a lot, but I don't care. I just like to have fun and just love on people.
Absolutely. And I've been around you and your family, just absolutely down to earth, just humble. And let me say, what an amazing father Amed is. They just have an amazing family, just pouring into their children and their family, just to raise fine sons. But you have 4 boys? Is it 4 or 3?
4 total, yeah.
4 sons, and just raising them just to be great citizens, and imparting some knowledge and love and just so much into them. So I applaud you for that. Now, Amed, we've had people, some of the people who are watching know you and your wife from business, and a lot of them don't know you. But those who know you have looked at your life over the last couple of years, and they have really seen the quantum leap that you and your wife have taken personally. And so I want to talk about that, because we're here today, that I really want us to inspire people, because we have an audience of people who, most of them are entrepreneurs, and they're really on that treadmill, just trying to get unstuck and working to get to a better place. And you are an example of someone who has taken that quantum leap. But I know you like to tell and keep it balanced. You've taken a quantum leap over 15 years, because it didn't quite happen overnight. You had a process you went through too. So tell us a little bit about your business story, and then go into how you got to where you are now.
Well, it's funny because I remember when my first business was, I was about 7, and I wanted to be a ventriloquist.
Oh.
So my mom bought me this this doll. It was called an Amed Kelly Jr. doll, and he had like a clown face. And I was practicing ventriloquism from a book. And I took and I built this little shed, and I bought a second doll, and I wrote this entire script out. And, I was doing this scene with the 2 dolls, and I had invited all my friends. I charged 25 cents to come to the show, and I invited all my friends. And while I'm doing the show, I'm hearing, first I'm hearing clapping and cheering and stuff. And then I start hearing an eruption of laughter. Mm-hmm. And, it didn't feel good. And when I came from behind the shed, I looked, and one of my friends had stuck a stick in the doll's mouth, So it was embarrassing, but it was a good lesson that taught me that sometimes life will throw sticks in your path to try to get you off of the path, you know. And later, I wanted to open a barbershop, and I opened a barbershop in my mom's living room, and I was cutting hair in my mom's living room. But the problem was we didn't have a vacuum cleaner, just a broom. So I couldn't get the hair up off of the carpet as good, you know. So that lasted actually for about 6 months of me just cutting hair. So that was kind of how I got started in business, just as a kid, wanting something better for myself and my family.
And I always tell my children, just get started and the pieces will come together as you go. You don't have to see the full breadth of what's going to happen at the end, but if you just get started with something, God is going to lead you through the process and through the path. And so I know that about 15 years ago you got into, was it the real estate space? Is that what took you to where you are today?
Yeah, so about 20 years ago, my wife and I got into real estate, and it was very, very scary. We didn't know what we didn't know. We were trying to figure the space out. We were looking for mentors. It was just a very scary place. But we persisted because there were times when she was doubtful that I was stronger, and times when I was doubtful that she was stronger, and we just balanced each other out and stayed on the path. But what happened was about 15 years ago, a mentor of ours, in passing and kind of in a joking way, he said, "Man, the Hazels are crushing it in real estate. You guys are doing so well. You guys should be the bank." And I looked at my wife, and we said, "We'll talk about that later." And we started trying to figure out, well, how do banks really make money? And how does money really work? And that sent us both on a journey, just studying money and how it worked.
Well, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I want to say to everybody listening, this is an important conversation, and we're going to be having more and more money conversations. Every Tuesday at noon is going to be someone on imparting some wealth knowledge into us. But then as I do just more and more regular videos, I'm going to have more money conversations, because we don't know about money and how money works. We're not taught that in school. And of course, we've heard Robert Kiyosaki say over the years, formal education when we go to school helps us to make a living, that living paycheck to paycheck living that 78% of Americans do. But it's an informal education, those things that we don't learn in school, that will help us to make a fortune. And so now you're well on your way to that fortune part. I ain't going to disclose the numbers, but now let's talk about like where you are now, and then we'll get into how you serve people with where you are now. Because ladies and gentlemen, no matter what your business is, we want to inspire you today to let you know you can get to the top. Whatever that number is that you see for yourself and your family and your legacy, it doesn't have to be far off. It can be like your wealthy place that you live. And so Amed is truly has taken his family to that place, and he's helping others to get to that place too. And so Amed, so you were in real estate, kind of scary. Someone said that you should be the bank. And then how did that lead to you actually running your own fund? Most people don't know people who have their own fund that is not something they make up, like a SEC scrutinized, okayed by them fund. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we were in this space, and we were actually helping a celebrity. And we were helping a celebrity sell their home. And the bank was real, because it was a multi-million-dollar property, and the bank was really happy with what we did for the celebrity. And the bank asked me, they said, what can we do to help you out? And I said, wow, I never had a bank ask me how could they help me. I said to the president of the bank, well, I would love to buy some of your mortgages. Now, at the time, I didn't really understand what I was saying, but I was really putting it out to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, he said, well, let me make a few phone calls and I'll get back to you. So I said, okay, I've heard that before. Well, about a week later, I get a strange number on my cell phone that I started not to answer. And I answered it, and a guy said, well, I'm the president of a bank. I was working with this other friend of mine. He told me about you, that you wanted to buy notes. Let me send you a couple of portfolios to evaluate. So there's a lot of detail and story in between there, but eventually what happened was the first deal that I was closing from the bank. One of the first deals I was closing from the bank, I had gone to Chicago on a trip for a conference, and on the way to the conference, I asked my wife, I said, do you think I should take my laptop? And she said, no, just, go to the conference. Well, as soon as I get to the conference, which was about 45 minutes away, she called and she said, the attorney is on the phone. He's ready to close your deal.
Wow.
So understand that I didn't have my laptop and I'm 45 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to my wife, you have to close this deal. She says, I don't know. I haven't been involved in the process. This had been a process going on for months. I had hundreds of emails. I said, listen, you have to close this deal, go into my email account and read all the emails and then close out the deal. I can't do it. And she went in and closed the deal. So I feel like I'm a phenomenal businessman. I've done some amazing things in business, but my wife was the one that closed the first deal that we've done in this space. So women of wealth is truly, it's not just something that you say, but it's something that you become, and that women have the power to just do amazing things. So I really thank her and give her the credit for launching me on this journey.
Awesome. Yes, Rochelle. Thank you. We love you. We definitely going to have you on this platform. Coach Danita says, yes, just get started without fear. Or if you have the fear, feel the fear and do it anyway. So you hear what Amed said. He and his wife were in this thing together. He was leading from the front, her kind of in the background. And hey, when the time came, she rose to the occasion and made it happen. And so that's quite an exciting story. So I know you shared that with me the last time I was at your house. It was like Rochelle was the one who did this, who did the deal, right? That's awesome. All right, so here we are. I met you guys through network marketing. We were introduced together by Cedric Harris.
Yeah.
And
you should call him Hazel though.
And that's how we got to form this relationship and friendship. So networking and forming relationships is so important. And so when I first met you, you were living in Owens Mills, Maryland. Nice home. Recently you relocated, and I went to your home, about 4 times bigger than the last one. Beautiful, gorgeous, huge 8,500 square foot home there in Georgia. And I know, and I'm bringing this out without getting into your business too much, because as I have seminars and we've done vision board parties and help people with affirmations, typically having a big home or a dream home is on a lot of people's vision boards, but they often feel like it's something that's so far off, and am I really going to get it? And, what are the steps to do to really make this, manifest? So talk to us about like the process of going from where you were when you lived in Maryland to now the new lifestyle that you all live. And again, we know this isn't just about you, but we're doing it from an inspirational way, because not only have you helped yourself, you're helping a lot of other people in the process.
Yeah. You know, this is something that I tend to call inner alchemy. Mm-hmm. And how can I make something manifest? And I could spend weeks talking about this, but I think it comes down to 3 simple things, which is think, say, and then do.
Think, say, and do. Write that down, guys. Think, say, do.
So I start thinking about something in my head, like an idea. So my wife says, she said to me, she said, I don't like the cold weather. She said, I want to, this is my last year living in a home without a pool. Now, to me, that felt like she was like, I'm leaving you. That's how it felt, you know. I was like, oh my God, I guess I got to get her a house with a pool. You know? So I started formulating in my head, you know, what do I have at my disposal that I could use to bring forth what it is she's asking me for. Mm-hmm. And then once I had that in my mind, I started talking to her a lot about it. Yes. I started talking to her like, so describe in detail what it is your ideal place looks like. And what is, you know, how much are you trying to spend? And, you know, I started pulling detail out, and we started having a conversation like a lot. You know, like, all right already, but I want to have the conversation a lot so that I could speak it into the universe.
Yes.
And then once we talked about it, we started taking small steps toward looking at property, identifying areas. I must have looked at thousands of listings for houses. I still look at thousands of listings for houses. I have them sent to me every day. And, you know, I manifest things that way. That is my process.
So what I want you to get from what he just said, ladies and gentlemen, is the term inner alchemy. All right. He understands that he is a creator and an intentional creator. So inner, everything starts from the inside, as within, so without. So we can often see what's going on with our internal communication by the things that are showing up in our lives and in the outside space, right? And so he said, think, say, do. And I love what you said. I just finished listening to an audio yesterday of a personal development coach, and she was saying, man, when you want something, you got to talk about that thing. You got to talk about it till it's getting on people's nerves. Like, why are you always talking about it? Why are you always talking about it? You got to work up the energy. And what you're really doing, you're also reprogramming your subconscious. You're building that belief into you, and you're speaking it out into the universe, and you're sending out that vibration. So I love it. People are saying, think, say, do. Yeah, they're writing that down. That's awesome. And so we did a live video when I was at your house a couple months ago. And we talked about that number of 3 million. Let's talk about the $3 million story and how that manifested. Because I know everybody here is like, okay, yeah, I could use some more money. How do you manifest more dollars? Talk about that process.
Awesome. So, you know, one thing that I just want to tap into first and say that I draw information from everybody that I'm coming in contact with. So, like, even if it's a Facebook post and it's something that's really positive, like, I am like drawing from that. And I'm gonna talk about one of the posts that I pulled from you too, that brought me 6 figures. So, you know, I was at an event and the guy was saying that, he wrote up a check for himself, and I think he said he put it in his wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's not going to hurt anything. You should just do it. So when I got home, they had this fake check in the back of this book, and I cut the page out and I wrote mine out, $3 million on that check. And I taped it on my bedroom wall, where as soon as I got out of the bed, the first thing that I saw when my feet hit the ground was I see this check. Now, when I saw the check, I wasn't, meditating on it or anything. I wasn't doing any of that, right? I just would see the check and I would stand up and, go start brushing my teeth or whatever, right? But I realized that seeing this check every day, that my conscious mind almost blanked the check out on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And my subconscious mind started taking over and guiding my steps toward getting this $3 million. Well, I think it was within like three years later, after having that check on the wall, I had reached my goal, $3 million.
Awesome. Now, didn't Rochelle have something to do with that too? Is that part of I'm trying to get the story correct. Did you ask her like how much money she wanted you to accumulate for a certain thing?
Yeah, because my wife was always like, this is what I want, and you got to figure out how to get it.
Make them demands. It's all right.
So he was throwing that number out to me, and I just was like, okay, like I didn't have a number for myself, and she's just like, look, this is what I want, this is what we need as a family. And I just said, okay, let me just write it down, and we were doing a lot of stuff business wise. We were still grinding in real estate. We were still making money. It's not like the $3 million just fell out of the sky and into the bank account. We still had to work, and there were like, most people don't know that there were times that we had the computer in the middle of the bed with the printer in the middle of the bed, and the printer vibrated on my feet all night because we just constantly printed letters to send out to homeowners to buy their home. So you can imagine if there's a big, time in the middle of the bed, that's not good for marital relations, right? So, but we were just like, we're going to be successful one way or another, right? We just wanted it so bad that we just, we kept working, we kept the faith, and real talk, there was a lot of arguments a lot of times, there was a lot of stress and tension a lot of times, around, you forgot the camera, don't you're going to, a property to take pictures and you forgot the camera. That would be like her talking to me, right? You forgot the camera? Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot the camera. Yeah, but so this is how it really happens. And most people don't want to put themselves in that position where they are experiencing that level of stress and having to have that level of faith.
Well, I say that's in the part where you say, Jim Rohn says, it's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yes.
It's not easy, but it's worth it. And there's so many people who talk and say, I want to be wealthy. I want the big house. I want the 6-figure income. I want the big business. But then when it gets hard, and it typically always does, there's going to be some types of obstacles, some challenges that you got to get around, some unexpected things that are going on right now in the economy. But that does not mean that you're still not going to reach your goal. You got to be strong-minded enough to keep holding fast to your dream and keep moving forward confidently in the direction of your dreams, knowing that if you put it out there, when you ask, it's done. It's already done. It's not it's done if it's easy. No, you ask and it's done. Then you got to take the steps in faith and just know no matter what challenges come, it's going to happen. And so that's the type of mindset that Amed and his wife had to help them to get to where they are today. And we're doing this video to help you to strengthen your mental muscle so that whatever it is that you're looking to achieve, you can do the same. And so, Amed, people want to know, so you mean, was that like a $3 million in real estate that you accumulated, or was that like $3 million in your bank account?
That was $3 million in my bank account.
Like cash money in your bank account.
Cash money.
All right. Cash money.
and what was funny is that it was like we almost didn't even realize it. Mm-hmm. It was like, well, wait a minute, like, babe, have you looked at the account? And we were just about to close a deal that was going to like make us hit that $3 million point. I mean, but it was only like 60,000, I think, that we needed to take us over. And when we both came together and recognized that, I was like, babe, the check. And we just like grabbed each other and like hugged and, really like we did it,
Y'all did it?
Yeah, we did it. Like, no, not like that.
Oh, okay. I know you celebrated like you were talking about the marital relations things. I thought you were okay. That's
like we made it, like, and it was pretty emotional, and I felt it come back to me when I started just speaking it. Like, it was like, wow, babe, like we here, But yeah. I remember you posted online on Facebook one day. You said if you want to receive like $600,000, say yes, or say I believe. Mm-hmm. And I typed in like, yes, I believe. And now understand that, I'm already, I don't want to sound like, an idiot, but I'm already making money. Things are going really well, but it wasn't a coincidence when you said, say you want 600,000, and I said yes, mm-hmm. And then 30 days later I get $600,000.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I utilize everything that's positive for my benefit.
Awesome. Well, that's quite exciting. Guys, look, God is no respecter of persons. What can happen for one can happen for all. You just got to believe and get on that right vibration and frequency of your abundance, of your wealthy place. And so today, if you're watching this video, we thank you for tuning in. We got a little bit more for you here on the Women of Wealth show. It's going to be every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. We're going to be bringing some great money conversations to you. And so when I look at your website, Amed, it says that you are in mortgage-backed securities. Mortgage-backed securities. What are mortgage-backed securities?
Okay, so when we're speaking very properly and astute, we say mortgage-backed securities. Okay. But really what it is that we do is we buy mortgage notes from banks. Mm-hmm. And really in a technical sense, the term mortgage note is not even correct, because you have a promissory note and then you have another document that is the mortgage. But the reason that we say mortgage note is so that the person that we're speaking to understands that the notes that we're buying is connected to real estate. Because you can buy notes on anything. You can buy car notes, mm-hmm. You can buy RVs, you can buy boats, yachts. I have a listing that a bank sent me on a submarine.
Mm.
Rochelle and I was going to buy an airport in Maryland at one time. I mean, there are notes on literally everything.
Okay.
But we focus on real estate because the house can't move, right?
Gotcha.
So, so essentially, that's what we do. We go to the bank and we buy the mortgages from the bank, and they sell them to us at a discount.
Gotcha. And so when you learned to do this and you really got into the, I know you can't tell everybody everything on here, but how did that turn into a business? And now you're helping people, because tell us about the fun part of it. This is how the people listening can start to benefit from what you do, because you're buying these notes at a discount, which opens up investment opportunities for us. So share that part.
So what we did is we created an investment fund, and this investment fund, these funds are extremely expensive to create. So when we created the first one, it was for high net worth individuals only. So you had to have a certain income range as well as a net worth range that the government wants to see. So Rochelle and I, we said, you know, we've come across so many people that are just average people that want a good return on their money. And we know that we can provide that. So we, within the last 2 years, started going through a process with the government to help people that were not of that wealthy status, but they still needed an opportunity to invest. So we created what we call a non-accredited investment fund. And that just means it's for the average person. And it's called Legacy Builders Fund. And people that are interested can go to legacybuildersfund.com to the website, log in for free, create an account. And when we get the final approval from the SEC, they'll be able to make investments as small as $500. But because the economy or the banks are liquidating these deals for homeowners, we can then take investment capital, buy these mortgages, and treat these people with decency and respect, and deal with them in a way that the bank wouldn't deal with them, and help them to stay in their homes.
So let me make sure I'm getting this correctly. So with mortgage-backed securities, you're basically buying properties from the bank for pennies on the dollar, and there's not anything that just the average person can go and start doing. I mean, you've gotten skilled at this over the last 20 or so years that you've been doing it. So much so that you saw not just an opportunity for yourself, but you thought of a way to allow other people to benefit from the investments deals that you were doing. Then you figured out, oh, well, this is the way that other people can get in on this, and they can get a piece of the action too, without having to have the skill set that you have. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, except for when we make a purchase from the bank, we're not buying the property, we're buying the mortgage. So we buy the debt on the property, whereas the bank may be looking to just foreclose on the person. We call it compassionate capital. And we go in and we work with the homeowner to get back on track and come up with solutions for them to help them stay in their home. And like you said, because we have our own money, we can just do this and reap all the benefits ourselves. But we said, why not allow other people to get involved and be able to participate and have a hand in helping more and more people? Because it's easier for us if we can buy, you know, if we're buying, let's say, a $15 million portfolio, or what if we could buy a $50 or $100 million portfolio because we got capital from investors?
Gotcha.
So now we can get those deals at a deeper discount because we're buying at a different level.
Awesome, awesome. So Delton Stanley from Who's Got Your Back says, sounds really interesting, great stuff. So I know you know Delton. I think you asked about him last time we were together.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And so in the beginning, when you first started the fund, what was the first fund called?
Premier Note Fund 1.
So are you a fund manager, a fund owner? What's the term?
So yes, the term is that I'm a fund manager, but I do, of course, way more than that. But yeah, that's what they consider me, a fund manager.
Okay, so y'all can say that y'all know someone who owns a fund, right? The
Yeah.
fund manager. So, and he started it, and so in the first fund, you were dealing with accredited investors, and so you were working with people who they had to have at least what 50,000 or more to get to that, right?
Yeah, the minimum investment was 50,000, but you have to have like $200,000 in yearly income that you could substantiate, or at least $1 million in net worth, excluding your primary residence.
Okay, so listen, I want y'all to listen to this because this is one of the things when I talked to you, Amed, that was really so enlightening. Let's talk about the fact that there's no shortage of money in America because there's some people who be like, oh my God, 50,000. I just want you to step into the space of how much money people really do have access to and that's out there because you had no problem at all finding people who had way more than 50,000. Talk about that.
And even 50,000 is no money. Like,
Right. Y'all hear that? When he said that to me, 50,000 is no money. Well, he said 250,000 is no money. I
no
said,
money.
well, dang, I need to get on a high vibration. I want to feel like that's no money.
Yeah, it's no money, and I really don't even. It's a challenge, I should say, to work with people that come with 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. It's a challenge to work with them because they're still of a certain mindset. So, normally when a person hits 500,000 to $1 million, where they're looking to invest, is the person that I really like to deal with because they have a different understanding of money.
Yes. And so imagine the frequency he must be on to be attracting these types of people. And it's not like one a year. I mean, they come and they invest into the fund and he
We're,
helps these people.
we're even selective. So we've gotten to be selective now. So just because you may come with $2 or $3 million to invest,
That's what I'm talking about.
I may not. I take you through a process to see if we even want you now. So if your energy isn't right, then we'll tell you, to seek investments elsewhere.
I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. We need to get to that place, guys. It's all about getting your mindset there. No matter what type of business you're in, I want this conversation to inspire you so that you can get on that same level of thinking and get to that same high frequency with whatever it is that you're doing. Karen Jarvis Wright said 50,000 is no money. Right. Like get there. Right. I love that. And so we're going to talk about just the heart that you have because you realize a lot of people were being left out and you wanted to help more people, but you've been able to, in this accredited fund, work with some people of, high regard. Who are some of those people that you've gotten to help out?
So we work with a lot of celebrities, a lot of athletes, a lot of attorneys. I don't want to say nobody's name,
Right.
but yeah, a lot of attorneys. A lot of celebrities, believe it or not, have heard about us and started deploying capital and have become, personal friends of ours because we have to have conversations with them on the phone, and then they see the returns that they're getting and they're telling their friends. And, it's almost like unreal, where someone that is a high profile attorney representing mega athletes that will say to me, listen, I need to put an investment with you. We've talked to mayors of cities. At one time we had even bought the note on a mayor's property and had to help that mayor out of being in default. So yeah, it's a lot of people that are connected to us.
So let's do this. Let's take this down to where the average person is who are watching this. I have a lot of people in my audience, Ahmed, who are in network marketing, and they may have several levels of programs of entry levels. They may have a 1,500 tier program, then they may have a 500, then they have 100, right? Of course, you make more when you get somebody into higher level. But a lot of times people's mindsets are, nobody has money these days. $500 is hard for people to come by. So while you're turning away people who may come with you with only 100,000, the people of another mindset are saying nobody has $500. I want you to speak to that, because everything is just the limitations, we create them in our mind. Talk about that a little bit.
So, I mean, that's so true. You know, like we say, most people will say, so I had to spend some money. Mm-hmm. Well, we say that we are circulating money.
Yes.
Good. So because we know that it's coming back to us. So, so when a person is trying to, you know, if I can, I remember the first time that I was talking to Cedric, and Cedric was explaining the different levels of the program that he had. And he said, you know, you can get started at $199, I think he said. And I said to him on the phone, bro, I don't talk in terms of $199. Tell me the best program.
Right.
I mean, I felt a little insulted, you know. So many people are looking and saying that, you know, nobody has any money. Well, that's true for you. If you say that, that's true for you. And if you're seeing that in your life, then that's an indication that you need to change the people that you're connected with.
Yes.
So I don't, not everybody has value, but when it comes to money, if there's a person that if there's a person that can't solve a $500 problem, then I can't spend my time with that type of a person. Mm-hmm. So to be like we do coaching and consulting in our industry, to get with us, and our minimum program is $100,000. That's our minimum. Mm-hmm. You know, and we have programs now up to $1 million as far as coaching and consulting.
Awesome.
So you have to be able to at least solve a $500 program, because if you $500 problem, because if you can't, then how is it that I can coach you to put you on the phone with the banker, where we're talking about multi-millions of dollars?
I love it. I love it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want you to get from this. Maybe you're not in that space where Ahmed is yet, but maybe you are offering an opportunity where it's a $500 entry point, or it's only $228. You got to take that number and make it small, and you got to create your new truth. So as Ahmed said, if you think nobody has money, that's your truth, and you're going to create that reality. If I were you, I would pick a new truth to confess and start saying that people come to you easily and frequently who have the ability to sign up in your top program, whatever that may be, whether that's $228, whether that's $100, whether it's $597 or whatever. But start speaking what it is that you want to see, and know, when you know that lack and limitation are lies. I got this from the Keys to Everything when K. Miller said, lack and limitation are lies. They're no longer true for me. And I started saying that affirmation. I started thinking, that's right, this is an abundant universe. The only reason there's a limit of anything is because my mind says so. So lack and limitation are lies. They're no longer true for me. They don't even exist. And you have to have a new abundant way of thinking. Then you're going to start to see in your business what Ahmed saw for his. Now he gets to choose. he gets to call the shots to say who he does business with, and he attracts, for the law of attraction, he puts it out there, and what he wants, the people who have the big dollars come, and they come easily and frequently with ease. That is how your business should flow as well. And so, Ahmed, some good stuff you're sharing here. But now, so what you and Rochelle decided to do is not just leave so many people out with having to be an accredited investor, because your heart has always been for the average person, because you remember the beginning of your story. So again, talk to us about the opportunities that will come with this new fund that you're putting together.
So, and I will, but to just say, like, touch on again what we were just talking about.
Okay.
When I said to Cedric, like, I didn't call you on the phone to talk to you about $199. Understand that if I am afraid to circulate money, then the universe will take that to mean that I'm afraid to receive money. So I can't go to the store and now I'm saying, oh my God, this bag of detergent is $3.20.
Hello.
It's up 19 cents from last week. Like, I don't even compute. My brain doesn't even compute that. I'm like telling my wife, buy whatever you want to buy. And somebody will say, well, yeah, you can say that now. But if you talk to my wife, she will tell you that I've always been that way. Even when we didn't have like any money, I would say, I give her $40 and I'm like, yeah, while you're in here, buy whatever you want to buy, right? She's like, yeah, okay, right? But it's me thinking in my head and creating inner alchemy and becoming. I have to become first what it is that I want.
Yes.
So when you can embody that and say, yeah, if I had, the $200,000, what would I do with it now, right? Even though you don't physically have it, when you think it, the universe starts working in your favor to deliver it. And what I teach I'll drop this nugget here. What I teach my high profile coaching clients is that the reason that you're not successful is that there's some incongruency in what you're saying and doing and what you want. And once we can figure what that is as the problem, then we can open the highway up so there won't be any traffic jams on the highway to wealth. So, but what's our opportunity? So we're launching this fund, and it is what we call a debt fund. The other fund is a private equity fund. And what that means is we share profit from the company with the investors. And the reason that they get that opportunity is because they're at such a high level and high commitment to investment. So with this fund, which is simply amazing, it's a debt fund which we pay interest just like a bank would on your money, except we are paying higher levels of interest on your money. Whereas with the bank, they're paying you less than 1%. We're going to be paying anywhere between 5 to 10%. We can't say for sure just yet because the SEC is looking through our paperwork and making sure that our numbers match and with market plans. So we're still hammering it out, but we're going to be somewhere between 5 and 10% on your money. And one of the things that the SEC is asking us now, like at this actually very moment, I'm seeing notifications pop through from them that they're asking, how can you guys pay this, whereas banks in the UK are at a negative interest rate.
Wow.
The banks in the UK are charging people to have money in their banks. That is going to be here soon. Trust and believe.
Wow. That makes me think. I was just thinking, I was on a call yesterday, and a gentleman in the financial world was sharing the concept of being your own bank. And he was asking the person who was considering the investment, how much are you getting at your bank right now? And the gentleman just did not know. And a lot of people don't know, because remember, the years ago was posted up and you could see it, and it may still be, but back in the day, banks were giving sometimes 3%, while using the rule of 72. At 3%, it takes like 24 years for your money to double.
Right.
At 1%, it would take 72 years for your money to double.
Right.
So now banks are paying less than 1%. Guys, nobody has enough life left in them to put money in the bank in order to see something significant. So here now you're talking about being able to get 5% or higher return on your money when banks are less than 1 and maybe doing negative. This is huge, and it's at an entry level where the average person can afford. God bless you and Rochelle for starting up this fund. Now, is this just for people in the U.S.? Is it going to be for people around the world? Tell us a little bit about that.
So it is going to be an international market. We're opening it up, but with international markets comes a higher level of playing field that we have to operate on. So anybody from an international market, we just ask them to have a U.S. bank account that they can funnel the money from through the bank to us. That way, their bank account is verified. The government does their checks on them. We call it KYC, which is Know Your Customer checks, anti-money laundering checks. So, but yeah, we're opening it up to international investors as well as those people that are looking to invest crypto. So if you have Bitcoin that you want to invest, Ethereum that you want to invest, we can take those currencies as well.
Okay, awesome. Well, we got 5 minutes left to help people, Amed, and I know you're all about giving value. So let's talk about this COVID-19 that's on everybody's minds and what's going on in the marketplace today, because some people are living in fear, they're losing their jobs, and they don't know how they're going to make ends meet. What should people's mindsets be right now in what for a lot of people would be uncertain economic times? Us as entrepreneurs, as lights in the world, what should our mindsets be, and what should the mindset be for others who are watching?
The mindset should be, first, of course, keep yourself safe and healthy. Mm-hmm. But financially, you have to understand that whatever has been working for you or not working for you, you have to think about doing something different. You have to start learning a new skill set. And you have to get what I would call, like we call in my house, being gangster. All right. So you gotta be gangster. If you're in network marketing, then your faith and your product, services, the company, your upline leadership, you have to say, I'm doing this, and I'm not leaving. I'm not going to bed until I have signed up 30 customers a day.
Love it.
There's a leader at another company that I heard just last night. They did 2,500 people in a single month. So you have to be ready to do something different and become something different almost immediately. You got 3 months to become something different and look. If you got to stay up all night reading or whatever, like, you got to do something fast, because the economic climate of the entire planet is about to shift again. And you have to be ready for when the shift takes place, or else this shakeup is designed to shake the branch so the weak leaves fall.
Right.
So get stronger.
You hear that? Get stronger. Don't miss that. Get stronger. So it's not time to shrink back. It's not time to be mealy mousy and wimpy about what you you want for your life. It's time to press in, get stronger mentally, get stronger in your actions. As he said, be about it and be gangster. Don't feel like, oh, business has to go down. No, really, money just changes hands, and there's a shifting and a change. Be on that receiving end, guys. Now, this is what this conversation is about. It's about inspiring you to be on the bigger receiving end, to give you hope that no matter what's going on in the media, what they say, what's going on in the marketplace, somebody is going to win during this time. There are going to be winners, and you can be a winner. You see him, he's saying, that's me. You need to be pointing to yourself, say, that's me. Oh, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And so it's people like Amed, people like Mr. Brian House with Make Wealth Real, other people who I'll be bringing on, Mr. Court Burner, and others who are giving people the blueprint and giving them ideas to show you how to win the money game. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue having these money conversations to help you ladies be women of wealth. That's right. We're going to keep on with that chick power. Rochelle, I want to have you on this show as well, because I know our man couldn't do what he does without you being there. So we definitely want that. We got people saying, hey, I'm a winner. Yes, you are. You're a winner. And we're going to win big despite whatever the doom and gloom message is. Again, if that's your truth, you're going to live that out. I decided to create my own economy, live in God's economy, and that is an economy that's always abundant. And so, Amed, I thank you so much for joining us. I know the audience does as well. If they're interested in connecting with you, how do they do so?
Go to Mortgage Note University at gmail.com and shoot me an email, and then we'll get in touch and show you how to go through the process. Or you can go right to legacybuildersfund.com and sign up for a free account.
Absolutely. And let them know that Bunmi Moore sent you, that you saw this video on Women of Wealth show. Make sure that you do that as well. So guys, stay tuned. Come back next Tuesday. Share at 12 noon Eastern. Share this video, like, love, comments, give us some hearts, run some watch parties. People need to hear this information that we shared today. And with that, remember this, and this is so important. It's in our moments of decision that our destiny is shaped. And so you're hearing this information today. You can decide to just say, oh, it was great, and let it pass, or you can make a decision and put it to action. The choice is yours. Hey, they said give that site one more time.
legacybuildersfund.com.
All right. And to get in touch with you?
Mortgage Note University at gmail.com.
All right, guys. And with that, we're out. Thank you so much, Amed. I appreciate you being a guest on our first Women of Wealth show. And with that, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Remember, you are more powerful than you know. Have a great day.